Next up, we're going to move on to the 2:30 matchup on ABC. But before we do that, be sure to subscribe, like the video. 98% or so of you guys are not subscribed. So if we can get that flipped around, that'd really help out the channel a lot. We post a lot of videos every single week. We put a lot of effort into it for you guys. So hopefully you enjoy it by leaving us a like and subscribe. Now, with that out of the way, we have number 5, Ole Miss. Can you believe it? Number 5, Ole Miss is 6-0, traveling to Athens, Georgia, to play the Georgia Bulldogs, who's come in at 5-1, ranked 9th in the country. This game is at 2:30. As I mentioned, looks like Georgia's a 6.5-point favorite with a 69% chance to win, according to the FPI.
Yeah, here you go, Georgia fans. This is what you wanted, right? Wanted a slate of home games with meat on your bones. You've been playing in the SEC East forever, where the best team was Florida. So every other year you didn't get Florida or Tennessee at home. And so you really just had the Auburn game or the Tennessee game, one or the other as your big home game, and that was it. So now you finally get some meat on your bone SEC games in the form of Ole Miss coming into town. Lane Kiffin got that monkey off his back last year, did he not?
Yep.
Getting a win over Georgia in Oxford just to turn around and choke really, really bad to Florida in the swamp. They've looked good this year. Who've they beaten? Let's really dive into this real quick. Ole Miss. And Freddie knows where I'm going with this. Off camera, I kind of alluded to the fact that I think Ole Miss is the biggest fraud in the top 10 that's not.
They beat LSU, Quinn. They beat LSU.
Beat LSU. I think LSU and Ole Miss are the two biggest frauds in the top 10. They got a bolstered win over LSU, who I don't really think is as good as their ranking suggests that they are. And that will come to fruition as we go through the season, and LSU has to play more SEC opponents. They survived Arkansas because of Arkansas fumbling the game away. They struggled to put away a Kentucky team who hasn't looked very good against literally anybody else.
Yep.
I just, I don't love what I'm seeing, and then, not to mention Washington State this past weekend. And I would argue that was more of a look ahead moment than
Absolutely.
but still, they're going to come out and jump Georgia. Let's get this out of the way. They're going to jump Georgia in the first half. Georgia does not start against anybody. Like Alabama had a 17-7 at halftime. Tennessee jumped them 21-7 in Knoxville. Auburn had them 10-3 at half.
Really should have been 17-0.
0. Yeah. And real quick, just to speak on that, even if you do want to say it was a fumble, the refs still screwed the pooch hard because someone scored a touchdown on that play. So how the heck no one scored a touchdown on that play? Anyway, that being said, Georgia's not losing 2 home games in 3 or 4 weeks? 4 weeks? They're not losing 2 home games in 4 weeks. It's not happening. I'm sorry, Ole Miss. Alabama beat you to the punch. I think Ole Miss is going to go in there, jump out early, probably 14-3, 17-3. Then halftime's going to hit, and then they're going to come out from half, and Ole Miss's quarterback's going to look like he played Division II football and should have stayed in Division II. And Georgia's going to slowly chip away at that lead until you look at the inevitable clock up on the board and you see that Georgia's losing by 3 and they have the ball and there's 3.5 minutes and they're driving and they're going to go put the ball in the end zone with a minute left. And then you're going to have a chance to go score. And that stadium's going to be rocking. It's going to be loud. At that point, the sun's going to have set. They're going to be doing the light show. They're going to be barking like unhinged rabid dogs. And Trinidad's gonna lose his first game in the SEC. I'm sorry, I don't have faith in Lane Kiffin yet to think he's gonna go on the road and beat Georgia in their house. And to be fair, I didn't have that faith in Kalen DeBoer, and he did it. So who knows? Maybe Kiffin proves me wrong here. But I'm gonna lean with the proven commodity, which is Georgia at home, to get it done. Because unless that script A is playing against that Georgia G, usually goes Georgia's way.
Yeah. And I want to point out something about Georgia this year, and that's the fact that they don't look like Georgia to me.
No, they don't.
You mentioned it. I don't know if it's a lack of game planning beforehand that screws them in the beginning, but that doesn't even make any sense. But it's like, show me once, okay, show me twice. Well, there's something. It's been like 4 games that they, like you said, they don't start playing until halftime. So to me,
Yeah.
that's a trend. Something is causing that. And
It was
listen,
the thing last year.
yeah, it was, and it ended up biting them in the foot come playoff time. And Kirby Smart's the best coach in college football right now to me, so I have a feeling that he's going to figure it out at some point. But if you don't, it's going to come back to bite you just like it did against Alabama, but it's going to be against a far inferior opponent. Um, and there's going to be an upset somewhere. But when you look at Ole Miss, I agree with you. Like, they've played some solid teams, and when I say solid teams, I mean like 2 teams, right? Like LSU is a solid SEC team this year. I know they're ranked in the top 10, but I'm in agreement with you. I think they're a little overrated for what their resume shows, especially with the downfall of Clemson this year. I think Tulane is a good football team too. And they beat them 45-10. Like, I think they're a good football team. But you can't overlook the 7-point win against Kentucky and a 6-point win against Arkansas. Now, I know Kentucky, like, early in the year, Kentucky normally plays people tight. That's just the way Kentucky is. At the end of the season, they start trailing off and they get blown out, and that's what Georgia did to them a couple weeks ago. I love Lane Kiffin. I love his offensive mind, his offensive scheme. Um, I love Trinidad. I love the weapons that Ole Miss has, and listen, would I be shocked if Ole Miss won this game?
Oh.
No, not at all.
A quarterback who can throw deep. I mean, that's kind
Yeah.
of the recipe to get Kirby.
Yeah, I agree. But when you're on the road, I just don't know if this is going to happen. I'm going Georgia as well. I don't think that they lose this game here. I know I picked them to lose last week against Auburn. I felt like that was an upset ready kind of situation. And I still think it should have been an upset. And listen, I know we're going to get to the Auburn game later because they play Missouri at home, but that's 3 big games that Auburn has been right there in. And if they had any pulse on offense, they would be undefeated right now and probably ranked in the top 5. With those 3 teams that they played and all lost to within a score or a score and a half, you could be looking at a top 5 Auburn Tiger football team right now.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. You're exactly right with that one, Quinn.